call, so we'll go directly to Pete Wishart.
It's very much a thrill, Madam Deputy Speaker. Can I just start by just setting something straight? There is an answer to the West Lothian question. Myself and Tam Dale actually came up with two answers to the West Lothian question some 17 years ago. One, Madam Deputy Speaker, as you know, is the Harthill Services. The second is salt and sauce. And I'll leave it to the House to decide and determine which one is the correct answer. But what an utter humiliation this is for this government. A flagship policy of the 2015 manifesto will soon be nothing more than a footnote in future constitutional history books and remembered as just another Tory policy disaster. God knows what they were thinking about when they introduced this some 6 years ago. They were consumed with the notion that we, the unkempt Caledonian hordes, were somehow stopping them securing the democratic outcomes that they desired. That us, Scots MPs, with our 59 members out of 650, needed to be constrained and to be curtailed. EVEL was just about the worst solution to a problem that didn't even exist. Never before has a procedure come to this House that's divided the membership of this House into two different and distinct classes. Not only did it do that, it did it by nationality and by geography. A procedure that barely anyone understands, is a burden to the management and administration of business of this House, is entirely unnecessary and produced almost unprecedented resentment. But I'll tell you something that will be remembered for more than anything else, and that is what it's done for the cause of English devolved governance. This was their first serious attempt in creating some sort of forum for English democracy. Now, we actually agree with them that they do deserve their English Parliament, that they should always have their outcomes that they want and they desire. We've even got a neat, practical and elegant solution to that. But of course they won't even start to look at this. But can I say, Madam Deputy Speaker, there are a myriad of solutions to resolving this within the precious union. The thing is, they couldn't be bothered doing the work. They couldn't be bothered rolling up their sleeves and designing a parliament of their own. They decided instead to come here, to use the national UK Parliament of Great Britain and Northern Ireland for this doomed experiment. Imagine this, a quasi-English Parliament squatting here in the National Parliament. What an absolute and utter disgrace. I've not got time to the honourable gentleman. and it satisfied absolutely no one. And all it did was infuriate Scotland. Instead of securing, you'll get his chance, instead of securing the near federalism that was promised, Scotland instead saw their MPs become second-class members in the Parliament they had just been invited to lead, with signs in the division lobbies saying England only. They would have been better having Scots out. That is what they did with this particular procedure. And they knew it would never work. From the first moment they suggested this nonsense, we told them again and again that it was madness, and at some point they would be here, like they are this evening, having to withdraw this. Now, under pressure from the SNP, EVEL is to be abandoned. This is a spectacular victory for the Scottish National Party, and I want to congratulate all my honourable friends for bringing down this absolute nonsense. This is one victory that we've actually secured this week in the United Kingdom, and by God, we're going to celebrate like it's 1966. We'll be buying on about this, Madam Deputy Speaker, for the next 55 years, and believe me, we will enjoy every minute of it. But there's part of me that will miss the entertainment of it all and the laughs that this gave us. Where it was designed to quell this tartan menace, I ended up making the most contributions in the Legislative Grand Committee. With 57 contributions, not only was I the most committed and dedicated member of the English Parliament, I beat all the English members combined. Not only did I beat them all combined, I beat them 2 times over. I'll give way to the Chair of the Committee.
And since we're on the digression on the football, which team did he support on Sunday night?
I supported the best team, is who I supported on Sunday night, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I enjoy my football, and I could say to you quite clearly, Forza Italia. English votes for English laws started its sorry and doomed journey just hours after the referendum for Scottish independence result was announced. Instead of statesmanship and consensus, what was required in a very sensitive and raw moment in Scottish constitutional history, David Cameron announced that the English question should now be addressed. What he did, as well as bringing us to this point, was ensured that the campaign for Scottish independence started once again, almost immediately, a campaign that will now be soon concluded with a victory for the Scottish National Party and a victory for Scotland. But we actually believe it's legitimate for English representatives to secure the outcomes that they want. And SNP MPs don't actually vote on English-only legislation or business that doesn't affect Scotland. If it's not in the Scottish interest, we take no interest in it. But if there is financial consequences or an inadvertent impact, we will represent our constituents, but it will be us that will decide that, not the diktat of a Tory government. We will now pledge to commit to not to participate in legislation that does not impact on our nation. But please, let's never, ever do anything like this again. And instead of going about KwaZulu-Natal, the Leader of the House should be apologising to this House for wasting the hours and hours of this House's time in a stupid experiment that went absolutely nowhere. Let's now work together to resolve this. Let's now ensure that they get what they want and we get what we want. We're on different trajectories now. We want something different for both of our nations. Let's just now give our nations what they want.